Dolphins fans, what's going on? Ben Morgan, Fins Up Network, continuing to make our way through Miami Dolphins NFL draft targets. Today's profile is going to feature Illinois safety Sydney Brown, a fun prospect to watch. Got a lot of unique things going for him. His twin brother Chase is also a running back prospect in this year's draft that I don't really mind. Hopefully to do a profile on him as we get through these as well. But a 5-year starter at Illinois. His teammate, Devin Witherspoon, played cornerback, a surefire first-round draft pick. So, yeah, that secondary there in Illinois was something to watch. But as we go through this profile, I do want to hear from you. If you've got thoughts on Sydney Brown, go ahead and drop them in the comments. As we do with these videos, we'll talk a little bit of strengths, we'll talk some weaknesses, and then most importantly, that potential fit in the event he gets selected by the Miami Dolphins. So let's talk a little bit about Sydney Brown because, like I said, overall, very fun prospect to watch. One of my favorites that I've watched so far this year, simply due to all the things that he can do on a football field. And then if you watched him at the NFL Combine, you essentially saw his combine numbers match the type of athlete that you could see on the field when he was playing at Illinois. And one of his best attributes, it's got to be that first step quickness, suddenness, that ability to close in on the football. And we're going to talk about that a little bit throughout the day because he did have 6 interceptions last year. So that ability not to just get in there right away and get close to the ball, but to be able to locate and finish and be able to actually come down with the interception really came to life for him in that 5th season at Illinois. He did take advantage of the COVID year. He's going to enter the NFL at 23 years old. That's not all that bad, though, considering how much he was able to develop during his time when he was in college. Because if you look at him now, you're looking at a 2nd, 3rd round projected safety that, yeah, he still needs some work, but he's much better off now after putting in that 5th year on college, putting that on tape, and then able to perform at the combine the way that he did. And one thing that I noticed, like I said, that ability to hit the pass catcher just at the perfect time. The perfect time, the perfect spot, just as they are attempting to bring the ball in and just dislodge it. He broke up a lot of passes during his time in Illinois, thanks in large part to that skill. So that's definitely something that stood out about his game. And then also at Illinois, they moved him around a lot. He played in the box, essentially kind of serving as like another linebacker. He can go way back, play deep safety. They also moved him around into some coverage from the slot as well. But like I said, that ability to get in there, just disrupt and dislodge the ball at the last second, you'll notice this a couple of times. Throw on the tape against Iowa when he's matched up against another Dolphins draft target and Sam Laporta, a good tight end in this year's draft. He's got some good reps in this game, specifically against Laporta as well. So if you ever wanted to go back and check something out, I would check that out. You got 2 Dolphins prospects there in the same game. But overall, good instincts, diagnosis plays well, but there's a kind of a component that he's missing that he struggles with when playing safety. And the biggest knock that you're going to find in this game, it's just the inconsistency with the tackling. And unfortunately, playing safety as kind of that last line of defense, missing tackles is not the greatest issue that you would like to have. He does have good pop with a good amount of his hits, but man, you see it from other draft analysts moving forward, if you read about him, saying that, yeah, he gets bested by running backs. Actually, like right there in the hole, he can either fail to wrap up or just kind of misses sometimes. So there's definitely some improvement that's needed in that tackling department. But like I said, let's talk about that fit because we're looking at him with the Dolphins. Currently at safety, what are we working with? You got Javon Holland, the surefire starter. And then right now it's kind of, I'm assuming here, but it's kind of almost safe to say that Brandon Jones and Deshaun Elliott will kind of maybe split snaps at that other safety position. And then you got Verone McKinley and then a couple of other guys that are more so like cornerback safety tweeners. So there's not really a starting spot available at the position per se. But what's the question that we've been asking all offseason regarding this position? It's the question of how does Brandon Jones fit? How does he fit with Vic Fangio in this defense? And obviously, we're going to find out. We'll find out this upcoming season. And then keep in mind that Elliott was actually only signed to a 1-year deal as well. But then on top of that, if you go back to Brandon Jones, this is actually the last season that Jones is under contract with the Dolphins. So he'll be an unrestricted free agent next offseason as well. So there's a chance that if we draft a safety like Sidney Brown this year, there could potentially be a starting spot that opens as soon as next season. So in my opinion, that's kind of where he fits right now if he was drafted with the Dolphins. Kind of a redshirt season per se, and like a backup role in 2023, with an opportunity to earn more playing time in 2024, depending on how Brandon Jones and Elliott sort of do and whether or not they're re-signed next offseason. And plus, there's obviously opportunities for three safeties to be on the field at the same time. So starting isn't necessarily the end-all be-all when it comes to the position. But a fun prospect. That's what I've got for Sidney Brown. If you've got any thoughts on the player as well, go ahead and drop them in the comments. You guys have as well. I just released a mock draft like a day or so ago. Make sure you go back and check that out. I got all the other prospects that we've been doing profiles on as well. Go back and check those out if you haven't done so already. And I'm guaranteeing that I'll be back with more prospects as we get closer to the NFL draft. But that is what I've got for Sidney Brown, Dolphins fans. And until next time, Fins